videos. This one is for con, dividing whole numbers by unit fractions. On this one, you will be successful in dividing whole numbers by unit fractions if you can change a whole number into a fraction, and that's something we've done in class or on other videos. Multiply by the reciprocal of the divisor. The divisor is the fraction you're dividing by, which in this case is the unit fraction, and then simplify if you need to. So let's go ahead and talk about those steps and see how we can do it. Okay, so here's our first problem here. 8 divided by 1/7. Now let's first of all talk about turning a whole number into a fraction. We can turn any whole number into a fraction simply by putting it over 1, and that is the easiest way to do it. So we end up with just 8 over 1. And then when we're dealing with fraction division, and if you think about this, each whole has 7/7 in it. So, because 7/7 would make a whole, so every whole would have 7/7 in it. So if we just take 8 and times it by 7, that'll tell us how many of the sevenths there are in there. But mathematically, we've been looking at division, and we realize that if we can take this, we can take this and just write it out as a multiplication problem. If we just take 8 over 1 and times it by the reciprocal of this fraction that we're dividing by, we get 7 over 1, which is just what we were talking about. We end up with just 8 times 7. Now, I know 7 times 7 is 49, so I got to add 7 more, so that would be 56. So I end up with 56 over 1, and that just equals 56. Do not put 56 over 1 in here. Con will not mark it wrong, but it will mark it and say you're almost there. So we just put 56 in there. We don't put the 56 over 1 because you do need to simplify these, especially if it goes into a whole number. That's one thing I did notice on con. If it goes into a whole number, they expect you to simplify these. Okay? So let's go ahead and look at the next one. Okay, so we end up with 8. Oops, same one. So we end up with 7 divided by 1/6. So we're going to change our whole number, change that into a fraction. So we end up with 7 over 1 divided by 1/6, and we can change that into a multiplication problem by taking 7 over 1 times 6 over 1, and that makes sense because every whole has 6/6 in it. And then we just end up with 7 times 6, which is 42, and 1 times 1 is 1 again, so we would just go to 42. And that would be the answer we would enter in there. So we just end up with 42. Let's go with just one more of these, and that ends up our answer. Again, if it goes down all the way, if it goes to a whole number, you just put the whole number in there. I guess I only have a couple examples on here. One of those, I guess I had the same problem in there. So that should help you out with these. If you have any questions, I only have those two examples, but go ahead and work through those. If you have any questions, let me know, and you can get help again on con. They might talk about it a little bit different, but that's how we've been doing these in class, and that's how we'll work through these. Good luck. Have a good day. Bye.